record and then I have to, you know. I love the golf clap. I know I got on a little bit later, but the thing, I think it should. What's weird is like, it's not showing me as big, which I don't really care about. And I think it was okay for recording it. So I might just, I know, now I'm like, where is the pinning thing? Under more? No, that's like live. Like, I'm usually pretty good with
speaker, but then you should be able
I
to.
know that's.
Oh.
I know. Isn't that
Well,
weird?
you're on there.
I know. I think last time it looked like this.
Oh, here it is.
Oh, there we go. Thank you.
There you go.
Beautiful. Okay. All right. All right. So welcome everybody. Thank you for coming. We're going to get started in a seated position and just arrive. Like we've all had varying levels of crazy days today. And we're going to take 45 minutes for ourselves. So just try it. We're going to take just 2 or 3 minutes on our own. You can have your eyes open or shut. Any comfortable seat that you want to just arrive in this space. If you feel like you're in sort of a place where you want to receive some energy, you can have your hands up on your knees. If you want to ground down, you can put your palms down. And just start to notice your natural breath. Just gently inhaling and exhaling. Reminding you that you are here. And this is all you have to worry about right now. And start to slowly lengthen your inhales. And lengthen your exhales. Just growing a deeper awareness of your body that has brought you here today. Notice the parts of you that are connected to the earth, that are grounding you down. Start to pay attention to maybe what parts of your body might be asking for a little extra love today or a little extra attention. This may be the first time today at all you even remembered you do have a body. Unless you have some ongoing pain, it's always reminding you. So our theme kind of for today is embodiment and really just connecting to our body because it is in our body where we can be in the present moment. So take one more deep inhalation in. And just a big exhale out through the mouth. And then transition to child's pose, whatever is comfortable for you. So you can have your knees directly under you, or I personally like to have knees apart. And arms can be stretched out in front of you. Forehead to the floor, chin to the floor. If you want to, you can put your hands together in prayer pose and like make a little shark fin above your head. So I'm just going to read you a little something while we just stretch and relax in child's pose. And this was what made me think about the theme for today. So this was a daily reading I had from yesterday called Honor Your Connection to Your Body. Our bodies are matter, the physical form we have assumed. They are infused with our energy, our soul. My awareness of the body, mind, soul connection came slowly over many years. I had spent many years denying I had a body, denying its importance. I felt disconnected from it as though it were something apart from me, a burden I had to carry around and live with. Then I began to see the connection between my emotions and the aches and pains, and sometimes illnesses my body was experiencing. If I didn't feel the feeling, listen to myself, my body would pound out the pain until it was heard that way. Energy needs to be discharged somewhere. If it isn't discharged, the body will absorb and feel it as pain. I began to see the connection between changes in my life and changes in my body, the way the earth marks changing seasons and cycles. I began to get massages, exercise, and slowly trust the wisdom of my body. I became connected to my body. Yes, I was a soul. Yes, I had a heart, emotions, thoughts. But to live on the physical plane of earth, we need a body. Our body is a part of us. It is us. It holds the scars of our life to date, the stories of our life so far. It contains the wisdom and energy of what we need today and tomorrow. Honor your connection to your body. Honor and value your body's wisdom. It can tell you many things about your life, your growth, your past, and your path. Learn to listen to your body, and it will speak openly and lovingly to you. So just take one more deep inhalation in this child's pose. And then as you exhale, pull your elbows back in your forearms and stay in a child's pose if it's comfortable, but we're up on our forearms a little. So you can lift your head up. I don't even know if I could put my head down, but lift your head and you can feel like sort of the shining chest open here, and just take a few breaths and notice where this changes the feelings in your body. Inhale, and exhale. And one more deep inhalation in, and exhale back down to child's pose. And just take your hands gently over to the right. And if you can, place your right hand down on the ground and place your left hand on top of your right hand. And just feel that stretch, mostly in the left side of the body, a gentle side stretch. Remembering to pull back down on that left hip because it has a tendency to rise. And inhale and exhale. Inhale and one last exhale. And then inhale to kind of rise halfway up and just walk your fingers over to the other side, planting your left arm down, your right arm on top. And then just like pushing your hips back and resting and feeling the stretch along the right side of your body. Take one more inhalation in and lift your head and just walk your fingers back to the center. And then we're going to crawl our fingers back and have a seat on your knees if it's comfortable. If this is not comfortable, which it might not be, if you have knees, you can sit cross-legged. So we're just gonna do a couple of shoulder rolls in a seated position. So inhaling, lifting your shoulders and hold up for a moment, and then exhale, really roll them back down. Inhaling, lifting up, hold at the top, exhale back down. Inhale, lift and hold, and exhale back down. And now we're gonna go the opposite way, reversing forward. So inhaling and hold up, and exhaling, rounding forward. Inhaling, hold up your shoulders to your ears, exhaling, rounding forward, and inhaling up and around forward. Beautiful. And now place your hands on your knees in front of you, and we're just going to do some seated cat-cows. So bring your chest forward as your back kind of rounds, and you inhale and then exhale, round your back the other way. Inhale, chest shining forward, exhale, round the back. And if something feels good to you, you can stay in that position. So again, I know like rounding your back, if you kind of lean side to side, you can get a stretch in your middle back or lower back. So just take a few moments of like organically thinking about your shoulders and your back and what might feel good to you with these sort of seated cat-cows and shoulder rolls. And we're just like lubricating our spine, getting things going here. All right, finish up like if you were doing cat-cows, get yourself even. Raise your arms up overhead, reaching to the ceiling, and then grab your elbows here. So we're making like a square almost. And what we're gonna do is we're just going to inhale up and then exhale, bringing the hands down in front of us. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Up. And you can do this at your own pace. Exhaling down. All right, one more rotation, and if you can end up, and then we're just gonna lean to the left. Just as big or as small of a lean as you want. And center, and lean to the right. And center. Raise your arms to the ceiling, and we're gonna do a little bit of a bigger side bend. Put your left arm down, and just lean to the left. Shining your chest out. Your gaze can be out or it can be down. And take an inhalation, stretch your arms up and lean the other direction. Stretch all the way up and then come into a tabletop position. So again, thinking about our body and just feeling really grounded in our palms and our fingertips. The tops of our feet are on the ground. Our shoulders are above our wrists. Our hips are above our knees. Just notice yourself in space. And we're gonna do just cat-cows here. So you inhale as you drop your belly and lift your head. Exhale, rounding the spine. Inhaling, dropping the belly, exhaling. And here's where I'm going to invite you to tune into your own body and what you might need. And so there's this, I will say for me and my own personal exploration, it was with cat-cow that I realized I don't have to do what the teacher's saying. I can do what I want to do. So it really like at first was super uncomfortable for me because I'm like, I'm a rule follower. And if the teacher is doing one thing, I'm going to do what they're doing. But you might want to do like side barrel rolls this way. Or a lot of times, like you could do whole big circles where you're coming all the way back into a child's pose and around. You might just be here feeling your wrists if you have, been having a hard time on your wrists. So let's just take a minute or so to tune into our own bodies and notice what feels good and where we might want to spend a little more time. Take a few more moments just to even yourself out. And then find stillness in the center. Stretch your left leg back behind you and just rock back and forth, getting a little bit of a calf stretch there. And then float that leg up so that it's parallel to the earth and engage your core. Like really just kind of tighten those muscles so that some of that lift is coming from the core. Now pull that left knee in and kind of crunch down, almost like a cat. And then you're gonna lift your leg to the side. So to the left, and then you're gonna bring it back behind you where your toes are pointed up. So we're basically making some slow circles, crunch in, bringing your knee to your nose as much, not really, but close. And then lift up to the side and then bring your toes to the back. So we're rotating that hip socket, knee to nose, out to the side, toes to the ceiling. We'll do that 2 more times, really intentionally and slow. And engaging that core, toes up to the back. Last time, knee to nose, out to the side, up to the back. We're gonna reverse that. So bring it to the side, knee to nose, to the back. We'll do this 3 more times. Side, knee to nose, back, side, knee to nose, back. And last one, side, knee to nose, back up, and put your knee down. Whew, and just shake it out a little bit. So that's really using our core strength there on that side. And we're going to do it on the other side. So just take your right leg and kind of seesaw yourself back and forth here. And then float that right leg up so that it's parallel to the earth, engaging your core. Eyes are kind of looking out at an angle in front of you or down below you. And crunch in that knee to nose, rounding your spine. Lift that right leg to the side and then back, toes pointed up. And bring your knee to your nose, out to the side and back. Really slow, intentional movements here. We're noticing our body, also noticing where we might want to stop doing this because it's very small movements, but it's not easy. Bringing your knee to your nose, out to the side and back. 2 more times in this direction, knee to nose, out to the side, toes up. Last one this way, toes up. And then reverse. Bring your knee to the side, Crunch forward, back. Side, crunch. And 2 more circles around. And then when you finish your last rotation, you can put your knee down and just rest back in a child's pose for a moment. Taking a few deep inhalations and exhalations. Maybe rock out your hips a little bit. All right, come back into tabletop. And we're gonna do a side gate pose. So I'm gonna turn around for this because this is what it looks like if I start to try to reverse here. So you're gonna kind of kickstand your left leg out to the side and extend your right leg. Left hand is planted on the ground and just raise your right arm up. Take a few deep inhalations in. You can even like look up to the ceiling and down, and look up to the ceiling and down. Just feel that stretch. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna tuck in that little, that kickstand. We're gonna kind of tuck it forward and go back and sit on our bottoms. So we've got our right leg straight, our left leg is tucked in. And we're gonna lift our hands and twist to the left. So our left hand is behind, our right hand is on our knee, and just look over your left shoulder. An inhalation and an exhalation. Inhale, arms up, and then exhale, lean over, trying to keep more, instead of rounding here, just trying to keep it straighter back. So for me, I can't lean very far forward, but if I just am feeling a gentle pull here. And lift up and twist. And lift up and fold. Last time, lift up, twist. Up and so just sit up and we're gonna go back into, just go right back into a tabletop. And we're gonna go on the opposite side. So you're gonna just kickstand your right leg this way. Left leg is straight and we're gonna do side gate on this side. So right arm is planted on the ground, left arm is reaching forward. You can look up at your hand or down. Up at your hand. Take one more deep inhalation in, and then bring that right leg forward a little and just sit down on your bottom. Right leg is bent in, left leg is out. Reach the arms up overhead and twist to the right. Left arm on the right knee, looking over your right shoulder. Inhaling as you lengthen your spine and exhaling, turning back. Inhale, arms up toward the middle, and then exhale with a straight back, just a gentle lean towards that straight leg. And again, just notice your body, your legs that have carried you throughout the day today. Sharing a little gratitude for them. Lift up arms to the sky and twist to the right. And lift and then lean back over that leg. And just feel the pull, slight pull that feels comfortable, but not too much. One more deep inhalation. Exhale. And then come back to tabletop. All right, now we're just gonna go into a downward facing dog. So tuck your toes and lift your hips. Make sure your hands are in a position that feels comfortable to you. Bend one leg and the other. And just shake your head. I like to look under like one shoulder and then look under the other. Just notice if it feels any different, if you walk your hands in a little closer or further away. Figure out what your body is wanting today in this pose. And really release your head and your neck. For some people, they call this a resting pose. For some of us, it may not feel so much, but if you just take a few moments and really just release and be in this pose. We're going to take an inhalation and we're going to raise our left leg behind us into a three-legged dog. Hold that here for a moment and then bring that left leg forward into just it's a low bent leg lunge. And hands on your hips, so we're really feeling our balance here, and just notice where you are in space. For some people, having their toe tucked helps. For other people, having their, it's different for me here. So raise your hands above your head. If this feels okay to you, this definitely engages the core in a different way. And it helps us focus on balance. So just take some deep breaths here. And we're just going to grab our elbows like we did earlier and do a little lean to the left. So engage your core and lean. You might feel some shaking. And then come back to center and raise your arms up. Place your hands down to the ground, and we're just going to lean back into like that reverse runner's lunge. So we're just straightening-ish that left leg. If you have a bend in it, like especially right now, I feel like I need a bend. And again, like we did before when we did that fold over the leg, chest is lifted. So not rounding so much, but lifting from the chest and kind of leaning into that. Take a few inhalations here. Exhale. And then inhale back up into that double bent leg lunge, arms above the head. And exhale back into that runner's lunge. And then just at your own pace, we're going to do this a few times. Up and back. Up. Last time up and back. Then put your hands, kind of frame your foot. If this feels comfortable, raise your back leg so you're off of that knee. And we're going to come up into a high crescent lunge. So this, again, you may just want to stay here if you are trying to get your balance. If you feel comfortable, then you can raise your hands above your head. And really think about pulling inward. So for me, it's like a mental thing. So you're pulling your thighs in and you're breathing. Have a focal point in front of you. We're going to take 3 deep breaths here. 1, 2. Last inhale and exhale. Bring your hands down to the floor. Frame that foot and step the left foot back into a plank. And you're just going to hold here for 3, 2, 1, and lower your knees and lower yourself to the mat. Place your forehead on the floor, and we're just going to do a couple of king cobras. So take your hands out to the side. They can be at like 10 and 2 or 9 and 3, whatever feels good for you. And just fingertips on your fingertips and slowly push up. However feels good to you. Don't go too far. This is a back bend, and exhale down. Inhaling up, exhaling down. You can inhale up center and exhale down to the left. And inhale up and exhale to the right. Again, just really noticing your body and what might feel good. Take a few more inhalations and exhalations. Last one, inhale and exhale down. And bring your hands next to your shoulder. If you can, zip your feet up together, forehead down, and raise your hands like 1 or 2 inches off the mat. And now raise your forehead just 1 or 2 inches off the mat. And lastly, raise your legs, your toes and your ankles 1 or 2 inches off the mat. And inhale and exhale down. And we'll do that one more time, raising your hands off the mat, and then your head off the mat, and lastly, your legs off the mat. And we'll hold here for 3, 2, 1, and down. And just take a moment here and just shake your hips and roll them out. Come back to tabletop and back into downward facing dog. Pedal it out. Take a moment to notice right now the difference in your body, how one side might feel versus the other, based on what we did today. And just take a big inhalation and sigh it out. Now we're going to do that on the opposite side. So inhale, lifting your right leg up, holding that for a moment, and pulling that through into your double bent leg lunge. So coming up first, you can do your hands on your hips. And again, you decide if you want your toes tucked or flat. And lift your hands above your head, really feeling your muscles pulling in, engaging your core. And just notice even like if you, like for me, if my hips are here, or if I just literally go back a couple inches, like that I'm engaging different muscles. And so you decide, like, what do you want to do here? Inhaling, exhaling, last inhale, and then exhale back into that runner's lunge. So again, your leg does not need to be straight. We're not rolling over. We're having a open chest, leaning forward, just feeling that stretch in the back of our right leg. Inhale and exhale. And then inhale back up, arms overhead. Deep inhale and then exhale back. And we'll go through a few more flows at your own pace, lifting up and back. And last time, we will meet with our hands on our hips. And we are going to come up into that high crescent lunge. And once you feel like you're steady here, we're going to lift our hands above our heads. Again, really engaging those core muscles. Your spine is stacked. You've got a focal point straight ahead. And we're going to be here for 3 inhalations and exhalations. 1, 2. Last one, inhale. And exhale, hands to the ground, plant them on the ground. Right leg back into a plank. And let's hold here for 3, 2, 1. And you can either lower to your knees or you can do chaturanga and lower all the way to the ground. You're on your knees, lower to the ground. And we're going to do a couple more of those king cobras. So arms out to the side, toes pointed back, and inhaling, lifting up, exhaling down. And just experiment with what feels best for where your arms are. And notice if it feels different than the first time we did it. Last full king cobra, inhaling up, exhaling back down. We're going to do one more locust pose, but this time, instead of having our hands right next to us, if it's comfortable and you want to try, you can put your arms behind, like next to you. They're right next to your body, palms facing down on the ground. And what we're going to do is we're going to inhale and just lift everything at the same time. We're going to lift our hands, head, and feet. So take an inhalation and lift. And we're going to hold for 3, 2, 1. Exhale. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale and hold for 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Hold for 3, 2, 1. And exhale. You can make a little pillow for your head and just rock your hips back and forth here. And then just do a little log roll over onto your back. So however you want to be on your back, we've got just a few more minutes. So we'll do 1 or 2 more things before we do Shavasana. So you're on your back, put your feet on the flat on the ground, knees pointing up. And we're going to just lift and lower our hips and spine for a bridge pose. So you're going to start with your hands are going to be flat on the ground and just slowly lift your hips, your lower back and your middle back and hold in a bridge for 3, 2, 1, and slowly lower back down. One more, lifting and rolling up slowly in your spine. Hold for 3, 2, 1, and lower. And then just bring in your knees to your chest. Give them a beautiful hug. Kind of roll around on your lower back and sacrum. Maybe make some small circles, windshield wiper your legs. Pull your knees into your chest. And then we are going to just take our knees together and bring them over to the right, keeping our chest, our shoulders where they are for just a double bent leg twist. So your left arm can be out and you can look out over your left shoulder only if that's comfortable for you. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. And then inhale, bring the knees back up to center, and exhale, bring the knees to the other side. And again, thinking about keeping your shoulder blades on the ground. Your right arm can be extended out to the side. And if it's comfortable, you can look over your right shoulder. Just release everything. Let go of any remaining tension you might have. And bring your knees back up to center. Give them one last little squeeze. And then allow your legs to come down to the mat. If they want to straighten out and kind of fall open, your arms can be on the ground, your palms can be up, or you can have your hands, one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. And we're just going to take a few minutes in Shavasana to let the movement kind of seep in and integrate. Just use this time to continue to connect to your body. Maybe share some gratitudes for how far it's gotten you. Even if you have aches and pains, maybe some physical ailments, still how far it's gotten you and how much it takes care of you. Posture of divinity. I reach inside the stretch to remember again the infinite being that is beyond individual identity. The ageless, wise, and joyful one. Awareness released from expectation or the need to understand. I find the alignment of soul and breath, the perfect line of consciousness. In the center of my movement, nothing is left of me but what is true and intimate, the posture of divinity. Just take a moment to tune into your breath. Notice where your inhalations and exhalations are. Fill your lungs with as much breath as possible. And exhale out. Slowly bring your awareness back into the space. Bringing some small movements to your fingers and your toes. Maybe starting to stretch your hands overhead. That cat stretch, feeling your arms stretch to one end of the room and your legs stretch to the other. And when you're ready, you can turn to one side or another and just take a few moments in that side fetal position before coming to a seat, just to honor the transition from that Shavasana back to the birth and the rebirth that we all get to experience in each moment. And especially after we choose to give ourselves just a few moments of quiet and restoration and presence in our bodies. And whenever you are ready, you can join me in a seated position. Just notice maybe different you feel now than you did 45 minutes ago. And I'm here to say thank you for each and every one of you for joining me and also for giving yourself the time when there's probably a million other things you could be doing. And the light and love and darkness in me honors and sees the light and love and darkness in each of you. Namaste. Have an awesome rest of your Tuesday evening. Thank you so much. All right. Thanks, Catherine. I'll see you later.